Now, I'm I'm pretty sure I'm going to do this way. We're going to talk about the main event, but we're
I don't.
not going to talk about. Hold on, whoa, Brayden, don't say anything.
All
Don't
right.
say anything at all.
Mm.
And the reason I said don't say anything at all is because I am bringing in somebody else that I think wants to say something about the main event. Can you hear me, sir?
What's going on?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, look at that. Psycho Boy Fodder has joined the Wrestling Wire. How are you doing tonight?
How
Welcome.
do you do? How's it going?
It's been a while. It's good to
Man,
see you.
You
Looking
are
good?
going you are going up against Austin Aries, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I know Aries really well. Me and Aries have traveled around together. Been a lot of places together. So I know Aries almost like the back of my hand, which gives me a slight advantage. Aries has got a lot of experience, but I know Aries very well. I know what he's up to. I know what he plans. I know how he does things. So I'm very prepared for Austin Aries on Sunday.
Okay.
That answers my question. All right.
Right. Now, well,
Shit.
see, Aries is traveling though. Aries
Mhm.
is going to be working Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday in this area.
That's
Yeah.
perfect because he's gonna be beat up by the time he gets to me, and I'm just gonna swoop right in and get the victory.
Right. Friday night, he's going to be in Boiling Springs, South Carolina, going up
Mhm.
against Jet Morris
Mhm.
at Asylum Pro Wrestling. Saturday, he's going to be in Marion, North Carolina with Heritage Wrestling Alliance. I
Yep.
almost did that again. I did that
Yeah,
last
you
night.
did. You did
I
it.
said hi something and now I stopped. Thank Christ. Heritage Wrestling Alliance, HWA. He's going to be up there in a 6-man tag. He's teaming up with Scotty Brooks and Chase Emery going up against Brayden Marshall, Johnny Ryder,
Mhm.
and Big Country.
See,
Hmm.
that's another tough night for Aries.
Mm.
And then the following night, he goes up against
You.
NWA star Psycho Boy Fodder,
And to see your evolution, man,
among
from
other things.
doing shows around here and just seeing you, like your physique is very misleading because people think that, oh, him a big boy, him going to be slow. No, you are quick. You are scary quick, and your tenacity in there. It's no wonder they call you the Psycho Boy. You go from one style to another in mid match, and you could have gone through so many matches where I've seen it go from technical to brawler to just outright just freaking powerhouse. How do you do it?
Well, well, I mean, just over time, I have evolved as a worker, I would say. And I think as you progress and you move up and you work a lot of guys, and by working a lot of guys, I mean working like real pro level guys. Um, I was told one time I used to be very focused on the in ring wrestling, like you know the moves and all the things. And I was at TV one day, and one of the agents came up to me and they said, "Look, we know you can wrestle, but we don't give a shit about the wrestling, man. All we want you to do is just get your character over. That's all we want you to do." So since that time, I've just I've kind of done everything and based everything that I do around being my character. Now, when me and my wife got together, she was a great addition to what I was doing. She adds a lot of pizzazz to what I do as a wrestler, like us as a duo. So a lot of what I do now in the ring is really centered around just us getting our gimmick over. I had a conversation with a promoter who told me that they had a lot of talents that were complaining about winning and losing. And when we kind of got to talking about it, I had told this particular promoter, I said, guys that care about winning and losing don't understand the business of professional wrestling. It's not about winning and losing. It's about getting over. Because if you're over and everybody knows this is a good heel or this is a good baby face, people want to see this person. People react to this person when they walk through the curtain. You'll always be booked. You'll always have work. Now, I mean, we could migrate that up a few levels, right? Where, you know, once you make it to TV, it does matter a little bit more about winning and losing and the programs that you're in, because the more you win, the more over you get, and the more over you are, the more you get moved up the card, and the bigger your check is. So when you're at that level, now you're competing for money. But I think just overall, like coming into this event on Sunday, it's a nice full circle thing for me. I kind of got my start. You know, lots of people know that EC3 is one of my best friends. Me and him met before I ever started wrestling. When I got into wrestling, he was one of the first people that ever kind of brought me in and said, hey, man, you're going to be like my project. I'm going to help mold you and teach you, and I'm going to introduce you to all these people. And he did that. And the things that I learned from him, Aries was one of the people that he introduced me to, and Aries helped me a lot on my way up. And it's kind of a full circle moment for me and Aries to get in the ring and have a bout and see who is the best on that day. Aries has been doing this a long time. You know, he's a 9-time champion. He's wrestled everywhere you could possibly wrestle. And he probably knows almost everything about wrestling that you could possibly inquire about. So I think Sunday it will be a very nice bout between the Psycho Boy and the greatest man that ever lived. And I will preface our match with this, that I have been on a major run as far as defeating names. I mean, we're talking Hammerstone, Moose, Fulton, Matt Sydal, Fandango, Outrunners, Too Cold Scorpio, Rhino, Chris Masters. This is all like in the last 9 months.
We're gonna bring. I was there for Hammerstone. I was there for Hammerstone. I was a ring announcer.
Hammerstone, definitely one of my best matches ever. I mean, me and Hammerstone I've known Hammerstone for quite some time, and me and him had always talked about doing stuff together. But I mean, me and him had just had a fantastic match. I mean, the crowd was just off the charts for that match. And this past Sunday, I did take the L to Bubba Ray Dudley. It was an L in the ring, a big W for my career, though.
Yeah, a lot of what you're saying, I think, is that old adage that iron sharpens iron, and you're getting involved with some big, heavy hitters, not just because they're on the indies, whatever, but it's the knowledge that you're getting, the experience that you're getting, and it shows. It shows that you're picking up all the good habits. It shows that you're picking up that knowledge, and your ring work, phenomenal. And you just kind of took a lot of the stuff I was going to say, but I mean, you have gone through a list of big names, and it's just been getting better and better and better. Just
thank you very much. I very much appreciate it. And if you guys got any questions for me, I mean, you let me know. I mean, I'm down to be on here and chat with you guys.
Oh man,
Brayden?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I don't even know why I thought about this, but I left Tommy Dreamer off the list. So Tommy Dreamer.
Yes. That was a fun. God, that was such a fun.
That was a very fun great crowd involvement.
Dude, yeah,
match.
I had to stop a fan from crossing the barricade. I remember that.
Wow.
Getting a lot of heat, brother.
That sounds
I
like
don't care. No, somebody or Tommy was asking for a chair from the crowd. So this dickhead decides he's going to jump the guardrail. I'm like, no. Hand me the chair or throw it. Yeah, at Waxhaw.
They didn't throw him in the ring again this time.
They threw it at the ring the first time and missed.
The first time we wrestled there, they threw stools in the ring. They threw rocks at wrestlers.
So it's like it was kind of like an ECW show.
Dude, it's
oh my gosh.
Waxhaw.
I'll tell you some stories off air.
Yeah, I love Waxhaw. It's a great place.
Yeah, we
That's crazy.
We have a great time at that bar.
You drinking too much, bud.
No, I don't drink and drive.
No,
so I don't
Lorenzo keeps
the
llama.
llama.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, this Sunday at the AML Center, Cherry Street in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Of course, we have Fodder taking on Austin Aries, and of course, all the other great matches there. GroundZero. Tickets are available online. Tickets will be available at the door. Hopefully, you guys can make it, and anyone watching, we hope to see you guys there. I think it's truly going to be a really special event for us, for James, for all of us helping to put it on. I think, as I said, every match on that show has the potential to be to steal it, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's an event that I'm probably more excited about this than I have been for another event in a while.
And big shout out.
I've been so hyped.
Big shout outs to all the guys on the card, man. A lot of talented, hardworking wrestlers that are on the card.
Dude, predominantly when I've been around you, you're in go mode because you're about to go to the ring. Hearing you talk and being able to see the passion that you have for this, and the willingness to work and the desire to succeed. For anybody that didn't realize it before, Fodder is the package when it comes to what's next in professional wrestling.
Listen, I very much appreciate that. And bro, I could talk all night about wrestling and, all things wrestling. Obviously, both me and my wife wrestle. We wrestle together. Our whole life is wrestling all the time, right? But I think the most important thing to any wrestler succeeding is listening and taking advice from people who have been there and done that, and also doing all the things. The wrestling is one thing, but most of the guys who succeed in the business, they're doing all the things that are not wrestling, right? They're eating right. They're watching their diet. They're hitting the gym. They're promoting themselves in the proper manner that elevates them to the next level. They're investing in themselves. Becoming any promoter that I work with will tell you that I am a valuable asset to their promotion, not just doing the wrestling. A lot of guys get booked and they just show up and they're just like, yo, I just want to get my pay and I just want to leave, right?
Mm-hmm.
But how can you make yourself a valuable asset to any promotion so that you are so valuable they can't never book you because they need you? That's right. One of the most important.
Exactly. Being versatile and being an asset goes a long way. Goes a long way.
Outside of just doing the in-ring stuff. The in-ring stuff is like this much of what it takes to make it. Man, listen, man, I mean, when they do the tryout matches like at TV, when they get the ring set up and they and they got the commentary stuff working and all of that stuff, right? They'll do like tryout matches so that they can test the equipment to make sure that everything's like good for when they go live, right? And I have seen so many guys come in because like all the boys like that are like on the roster, you know, like everybody will just like sit in the chairs like around the ring and just like watch these matches and stuff. Probably one of the most important things is when you walk out, there's just got to be something there that makes the people in charge go, I got to have that on my show. It's got to be something. I don't know what that is for other wrestlers, right? But there's just got to be something there. You know, you need to be some sort of a character. Dude, I've seen probably, I bet from August of 2022 until November of 2023, I bet I watched 50 tryout matches at TV. And you see guys walk through the curtain and they're just first name, last name, wearing tights.
Mm.
And I have literally heard people go, this is just, you know, brother number 4 in here doing moves. You know, there's nothing there. You know, when I did my first match at NWA, and you definitely need people there recommending you too, because wrestling is a total recommendation business, right? So there were a lot of people that were recommending me to work there at EC3 and Ricky Morton and Johnny Swinger and Kerry Morton. There were a lot of people there that were recommending me. When I came in and I did my very first tryout match, they basically hired me right there on the spot, right? And all of the other guys that I saw get hired were all like me. They were just all like different characters. So like if you were a wrestler and you're looking to work at like a TNA or an MLW or a New Japan Pro Wrestling or NWA, something like that, these places are not like WWE, where when you go to WWE, unless you've been working for 20 years like an AJ Styles or somebody like that, if you're a new guy, at WWE, they're probably going to give you a name and a gimmick, and they're going to do that so that they can trademark it and keep it, so that when you leave, you can't take it with you. That's the whole point of that, right? Like, we're not going to come in and be Psycho Boy, because we don't own Psycho Boy. We're gonna make you, Schmuck McGee or whatever, and we own that. We own that name, right?
Yeah.
But if you're going to like NWA, TNA, AEW, any of these kind of companies, right? They already want the gimmick already done and packaged, so that when they see it, they go, perfect. I don't have, like, a good example of this is like there's like a tag team on NWA now. They're called the Slime Balls. They kind of remind me.
I love them.
Right. They kind of remind me of like a new version of like the Nasty Boys, right? Okay. But they got a gimmick. So, somebody like Billy Corgan can look at that and go, okay, I don't have anything on my show that looks like these guys. So I can take these guys, I can bring them in, we can tweak their gimmick a little bit to make it kind of how we want it, but the gimmick's already there. But if you're just like a guy in tights and you're like first name, last name, I mean, there's 800,000 first name, last name guy in tights. What separates them from the guys who get hired? Most of the time it's like character driven stuff, or it's things like a guy might have just an incredible body,
right?
You know what I mean? And they go like, man, like, bro, this is why WWE is only does tryouts now with like college athletes. Why? Like, people say like, oh, like they're not like getting like indie wrestlers. Like they get like 1, 2, maybe 3 or 4 like indie guys that they bring in and hire like a year maybe. But all the people that they're recruiting to come in are people that do what? They all play team sports, right? So they're all coachable. They'll all listen. None of them have ever wrestled. And they all, for the most part, look good. Because what a lot of people don't realize is you're auditioning to be on a TV show. It's a television show. Wrestling is a television show with wrestling. It's WWE is a television show with wrestling on it. Right? That's what it is.
It's I call it soap opera and suplexes.
Right. But like, you know, if you watch WWE, for the most part, the majority of the show is segments, promo segments, backstage segments. There's, you know, wrestling on the show, but, you know, it's a TV show. So, you know, if you just look throughout the history of time, like for television, like who do they bring on television? They bring people that look good, right?
Yeah.
It's like if you're a wrestler, like you don't want to look like the guy in the front row, right? Like you don't want the guy in the front row telling his kid, like, nah, man, I could kick that guy's ass. That's not what we want, right? You see what I'm saying?
Of course not. Exactly.
There's got to be something that differentiates you when you walk through the curtain from the guy in the front row. And most of the time, you know, if you look on television, we had this conversation. Like, I know I'm just rambling and shit, but we were helping out at one of the schools that we go to sometimes, and I remember I asked like a group of them. I was like, "What is your goal, like doing this?" And one guy was just like, "Well, my goal is to like go to WWE and like win the Intercontinental title or something like that." And I remember I just looked at him. I was like, you see anybody on WWE that looks like you?" This guy's like 120 pounds, skinny as a rail. And he just kind of sat there and thought about it. And he was like, no. I was like, exactly. I was like, so what are you going to do to change that? Because it's not the moves and the stuff we're doing in the ring right now. It's all the other things.
Right. And when you look at WWE's product right now, it's exactly what you're saying. The segments, they're hiring these college athletes. The other thought behind that is this. You have a gimmick, you have gimmick, you have gimmick. Fuck, I have a gimmick as an announcer. College athletes don't have gimmicks. They don't have a fake. All that shit's brand new to them. So it doesn't matter who they were in UCLA. It's congratulations now in Orlando, Florida. This is your name.
Well, and they bring in, and when they bring in college athletes, guess what they don't have? They don't have bad habits. And they don't have, by bad habits, I mean, they don't have bad habits that a lot of indie wrestlers have who haven't been trained properly, right? So then WWE can train them to wrestle exactly how they want them to wrestle because they don't know any other way.
And they're down there learning from one of the best to ever lace up a pair of boots, in my opinion, the greatest of all time, in Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Shawn's probably not in there teaching them. I mean, maybe sometimes,
right?
But you know, they have great trainers there, like Corey Weston or Weston Blake is a good friend of mine. You know, he's done a lot of training there, like with guys and everything. I mean, so wrestling's is an interesting business, man. I mean, I can talk about wrestling all the time, man.
We actually need to set up bringing you on just your own
just to kind of
where we just talk to you about the whole deal.
Oh yeah, anytime you guys want, man. I mean, you guys,
I got your info.
My contact and everything.
Yeah,
I do.
We'll definitely hit you up.
We'll get it squared away.
But either way, y'all heard it live right here. You're going to see Aries and Fodder going at it this weekend. We're going to run through the indie shows in the area that we are signed to so far, and the list keeps fucking growing. Dude, more days in November. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
But gentlemen, I do not want to keep you on here any longer than I have to. If y'all want to stay, you're more than welcome to stay, but you do not have to.
Oh, my wife will kill me if I do another 10 minutes. But
oh yeah. Well, I'm trying to get out of here in 10 minutes so I don't get bitched at by my producer.
We'll do like we'll we'll set something up and I'll come on and we'll do like an hour or something like that.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, however
be
long
perfect.
you want. All
Word.
right, man. Thank you very much. Have a good one.
Thanks, broski. Y'all take it easy.
Take it easy.
Hey, we appreciate you guys having us, Fodder and I, and letting us kind of talk about Ground Zero.